Okay, I'm gonna make this short because I'm so just distraught, irritated that I didn't trade on Friday and missed out on what was a pretty clear rally. Well, for futures, this is a rally. You know, you get in at the bottom pre-market and you just close right when the market closes, or even hold till today would have been better. Um, but for an options trader, especially if you're joining on the day of expiration, the first half of the day was kind of choppy and frustrating. Um, but in any case, um, to quickly summarize, we hit a we hit a bottom of the channel, January 22 trend line, March low trend line. I had multiple confluences and I talked myself out of and rationalized myself out of a trade because I just felt the bulls were having trouble getting this above three. I forget what it was. I think it was 3055. I don't remember. I think it was 3955 or 3950. And this has to be short also because I woke up to just a lot of work. So I don't really have time. Probably I won't have time to really trade today, it looks like. In any case, like I said, even on ES, multiple channels, although the January 22 trend line seems to always be different from what everyone else has. I don't know, mine keeps changing, so whatever. But we still had this trend line here that I found and we broke out of it. We retested it on Sunday, it looks like. And it looks like this also happened on SPY. Retested that trend line, this channel, and we're back up again. So I did read Adam Mancini's tweet, and I perused the newsletter, but didn't really look at it that much. Um, and it looks like, from what I understand, Adam Mancini is saying that 4,000 is now last-ditch support for bulls. This has to hold, otherwise it's going to sell. And ideally, they want to keep it above 4020, so I guess I'll adjust this. Nope, you know what? It looks like it's right where it needs to be to me. It needs to be above 4025. And if it stays there, I guess the next spot is going to be 4060. I think that's our next resistance. Let me zoom out a bit. Oh, yes. And he says there's an inverse head and shoulders for the past month. Um, I don't want to pull up his newsletter and show it on here since this is a paid service. But I, I I tried looking for this head and shoulders. Let me try doing it on a 6 hour. Yeah, it's an inverse head and shoulders, and I just can't see it. I know he said it's for the past month, so maybe, you know what? I'm gonna go to a daily. Nope, I don't see it. I don't know. I can't see it. So anyways, 4038 is up next actually. So here, or 4044, and then it's 4060, somewhere in this cluster here. So yeah, I'm gonna open up newsletter and see if I can find this head and shoulders in a bit, but I don't really have a plan. After missing out on the drop on Wednesday and Thursday, and then the subsequent rally on Friday, I'm just feeling probably just as worse as I would if I had made a trade and lost money. So, um, and I don't know, this weekend, I managed to go work out this weekend, and on Friday I trained my client, but he canceled on me for Sunday, and which I suspected would have happened anyways because he pretty much works every single day as an accountant. And I needed that money. That money would have gone towards groceries for me, and I paid my rent, but I'm pretty much broke now. I have like nothing in my account, and not enough, at least certainly not enough to pay all the bills I have to pay coming up in a few days. All the first of the month bills you got to do. I haven't paid my cable, my internet bill. I don't have cable. I just have internet, which is like 80 bucks a month. I haven't paid that. I have my phone bill, which I really need to figure out how to get out of. I'm sick of paying AT&T 70 bucks a month, which I know for a lot of people is cheap, but I barely use my phone. I'm always home. I'm always on Wi-Fi. I never talk. I hardly ever text. I'm sick of paying AT&T 70 bucks a month for the longest time, and my phone is paid off. So it's 70 bucks a month just to have this service, and it's ridiculous. But that I have to pay, and of course my car payment, I can't afford it. I'm gonna have to pay my car payment a few days late when my next check comes in. So I'm so done with this constant living check by check. Ever since I lost my career in 2013, um, it's been like that, just a life of living check by check, no discretionary income, struggling every single time. And I was hoping this trading shit would be something to give me a supplemental income, but all it's really been doing is just bleeding me dry. So, God, man, I don't know what any of this means. I'm not an attorney. I don't know what. Make sure add today's date in the certificate of service at the bottom. I don't know what that even means. Oh my God. Anyways, so yeah, I would like to just sit here and give a bull plan and a bearish plan, but I can't even find his head and shoulders. I just don't see it. I'm gonna go look at the newsletter and see if I can find it, but I don't see a head and shoulders. Um, on the VIX, why did I go to 5 minutes? On the VIX, it looks like we may eventually push our way back down here. But in terms of a bull plan, in fact, I might get rid of all of this since it seems to have done nothing over the past couple days. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. We may, you know what? Every time I say it's gonna chop, it ends up rallying. So I don't know. I have no bullish plan. I have no bearish plan, and I've got a ton of work to do. So I really don't know what to do. I guess I just don't care anymore, to be honest. So whatever. If that being the case, I'm sorry I shouldn't even be making a video because it serves no purpose. I'm just doing it just to go through the motions and just running my mouth, but I don't really have a plan. I mean, Adam Mancini's plan is as long as we're above this line, we're gonna go higher, I guess. Um, we're at 420, not 4020 now. If 4038 is the next goal, which is like 15 points above or 10 points above where we are now, or 4040 is the next goal, and then 4060, I don't know. And I know I've said it, but whenever I say it doesn't actually happen, of course, because the market wants to do the opposite of whatever I say. But typically speaking, when the market rallies in a particular day, the next day or more, few days, it'll chop. That's generally how it goes. Or there'll be like a little bit of a pullback, and then it'll rally again. But Adam says we've been basing. I remember he said that in his tweet. Oh, Jesus Christ. Nope, he didn't say that here. I could have swore he said that we've been basing. Oh yeah, this was a subsequent tweet he sent to someone else. Someone was remarking that the price action looks bullish, and if it's a good time to short 4038. Adam Mancini responded that the longer it bases below here, the lower the chance it holds as it's building energy. My expectation is that it clears, but it's a question of how much reaction first. I guess some people shorted this overnight action to 44,000. Been a major trend lately of really good overnight volatility. Yep, futures are loving it. It seems to make big moves when the market's not open. So if you were awake at 2 in the morning and shorted this, and then you were awake at 3:45 in the morning and longed this false breakdown here, which seems almost textbook false breakdown, and a retest of this channel that was broken out on Friday, then you got another, 30-point run up to 730 for profit. So anyways, yeah, I guess the plan is it stays above here. Maybe I'll take it long. I'll prefer to see a fake breakdown of 4020 or maybe even a retest of 4000. And then I'm not bothering going short unless we break below this channel that broke out of on Friday. That's basically it. Otherwise, I really don't know if I have any time to trade, and I don't know if I have the patience to even try to be honest. So that's just what it is. All right, the bell rung like 5 minutes ago, and I couldn't really look at the market, but this will likely be one of those days where if I just went long shortly after the bell, I mean, what are we, 58, 53, whatever, and then just stepped away, I may end up making 100% of my profits today. This will probably be one of those days. So this is the 400 strike. We're now at 398. I see no reason why this is going to drop down, especially because I'm busy and I need to prepare, like, I think 6 notice or summonses to different businesses. So I need to figure out the address of these businesses and draft the summons. But I will put an alert. I highly doubt this is going to come back down. But if for some reason this thing chops sideways and then retests, oh, well. I'm glad this happened. I want someone to see how, if you were, let's say you went long at $50 and you bought 20 options, so you spent $1,000 right here. And if you didn't sell here, and why would you? Why would you? The next target is 4038, right? The next target is 4038 up here, or 4044. Nope, not auto arrange. Oh my God, I can't with computers, man. Okay, up here. That's our target. So you would have sold early. And I mean, obviously, if you went at 50, you wouldn't have your stop loss at 50. But look how quickly you would have lost your profits. Oh wow, it's kind of interesting how how on Thursday morning this went right to my level at 4040. It didn't even occur to me to take this short. However, I didn't notice this had existed before. In fact, I didn't notice this until Friday morning. All the more reason why I should have taken it long. Well, it came back down to 50. I put an alert to go down to 50. But now I'm hesitant to take it long because of that very strong drop that just happened. And to be honest, I really would rather take 4,000 long this little dip here. I'd rather take this long, to be honest. I wonder if 4010 is still a support. I didn't check the levels Adam Mancini gave in his newsletter. I also want to try and look at it again and see if I can find this Head and Shoulders. Oh my God, where's the alert? Here it is. Okay. Let me get back to this. Well, it looks like I got my fake breakdown, but it's not this that I got here. This fake breakdown here. It's this here. So we got this breakdown here, and I've seen no demand zones or anything forming anyways, but we got this sudden rise here, so it's a quick recovery. So I guess maybe this was to fake out any longs that got in when the market opened and just shake them out, run some stop losses. I don't know. All right. I may have to step away to take a break. I'm running at about 4 hours of sleep. I could not sleep last night. I did some sprint training on Saturday, and I love sprint training, even though my old butt really can't do as much sprints. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I would do 10, 15 sprints with like maybe a minute, 2 minutes of rest between them at most. Now, at almost 50, I can do maybe between 4 to 8. I think a month or 2 months ago, I did 8. And the only reason why I did 8, or was it 7, was because there was a guy out in the track that's an older guy like me, and he's doing hurdles. He brought his hurdles out and was doing hurdle training, and I asked him to make a video for me so I can post it on my Instagram. And I did it. I ran, but something messed up with the video, so I needed to do it again. I think it was 9. I think I finished at 7. I don't remember. I don't remember how many, but it's more sprints I normally would do, and my body was done. I was sore for over a week. So, and then I didn't do any sprints for a while because I noticed, no, I did one more sprint training, but I didn't do it for a while after that, almost like a month, because the tendons behind my knee, the ones that attach to the hamstring muscles, um, were really hurting. And I just did sprints recently, Saturday, and I have trouble sleeping when I work out legs or do sprints. Okay, check this out. We got our pullback. I still believe 4008 is yep, clearly there's a reaction here. I still believe this is a support zone. I still would rather it test this again, maybe even a flush below and one more touch of this line and the daily confluence. But and I gotta admit, I hate trading, excuse me, after a rally. I really don't like trading, or like a really strong drop. Um, I think the term Adam Mancini likes to use is that the market needs to digest the move or something like that. So yeah, I'm very reluctant to trade today. The day I should have traded was on Friday. The market gave me everything I asked for. Multiple confluences of the trend lines. It formed a demand zone. Demand zone was retested. I'm gonna zoom in again on Friday. This is a 15-minute, right? Strange. Yeah, here's the demand zone. This is the one that formed. This is the retest. This is where I should have gotten in. And then it came back down again, forming another demand zone just under the previous demand zone. Although I have to admit, this would probably fake some people to exit, because if this is the demand zone you're going for, this was likely where you're. Oh my God. My landlord's father just passed away. Hold on, man. Oh my God, this is the kind of news I don't need to hear. I just signed a lease for a year for this apartment, and now this guy is gonna sell it, and which he has the right to do. He can sell the apartment, and I have to find a place to move out. It's always something, man. And since this is a prime location in Miami Beach, he probably will get what he wants for price-wise. And I don't know, but this is the kind of news that just makes you sick to your stomach because it's bad enough I'm barely able to afford to live here now. But the problem is, I can guarantee you, even though I'm paying almost $2,000 here for rent, Miami's so messed up right now when it comes to rent that if I might maybe I might find some place that's a little bit cheaper by maybe a couple $100, but it's going to be in a trash location. It's going to be a trash area. I mean, watch this. Watch this. What's I prefer Redfin, honestly. God, I'm so frustrated. I'm dyslexic now. Watch this. We're gonna put a price of about 2,000. All right, and we're gonna do a minimum of 1,500. So here we go. A studio in Bayshore Drive. These guys couldn't even bother to put a picture. 2,000. Vista Lago. I don't know what the hell that is. Let's zoom in. Let's try and go closer to where I am now on the beach. Oh wait, never mind. Look, as you can see, this is the results for the beach. This is about all you can get. So there's 2 units here. Let's see what this one is. And mind you, I'm paying 1825 plus the cost of parking, which is about close to 1900. So I bet you this place has this one thing about the beach, there's no parking. That's one of the hardest things to find on the beach is a place that offers you parking as well. So I like Redfin because you can scroll down and it should, well, I guess not. Usually they'll show you, oh, in-unit amenities, air conditioning. That's what this guy put on here. He couldn't be bothered to put anything more than that. Usually they'll tell you, you know, the extra stuff, but I guess this guy didn't bother to enter that. So here we go. So it's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. I'm guessing, I don't know if it's the first floor, and this building, I'm gonna also guess there's no parking. Yeah, okay. Let's try something off the beach. Let's try something in a not so great area. So let's go to whatever this is. Oh, this is the one that didn't, no. Okay, what is this? It's a studio. 4250 Biscayne. Alright. Well, this guy actually put a description. Stainless steel appliances, floor to ceiling. Mind you, I can't afford 2,000. I'm just proving a point. You know, I can barely afford to live here as it is. Um, but I'm just showing you how expensive things are here. Let's see if this thing even has any, because I mean, right now I'm living in Mid-Beach, Miami Beach. I have parking, even though I pay for it, but it's, usually parking in my beach is extremely expensive. Yeah, not much here. Let's take a look at some of the pictures. I would think this is the parking garage, but I don't really know. I think I've seen this building as I've driven down this road before. I actually wouldn't mind living off of Biscayne, to be honest. And this is a nice looking apartment, all things being told, except for this trashy looking carpet here. But remember, this is just a studio. And I don't think this guy even bothered to put the size of the studio. So studio, again, is part of the kitchen. And has an in-unit washer and dryer. Great. 488 square feet. This studio that I'm in right now is 570. So this is about 100 square feet smaller than where I am now, and they're asking for 2,000 a month. So, and I know there are worse places like New York and some places in California, but that's not the point. My point isn't to argue which is the worst place to live. My point is to argue that I can barely afford to live where I am now, and now I'm going to have to move out and find someplace else. And wherever else I find that's going to be equivalent in value, I guarantee you it's going to be worse than where I am now. That's the problem. Man, I just don't know. It's always something. Anyways, I have to do some more work and figure this out. So it looks like, my God, dude, usually, okay. It looks like we are forming a demand here. And this is a demand here, even though this is sort of a dip. This is a demand formed right on 4002. Not sure if I want to take this because I'm not in a space to be trading right now, and I've got more work to do. But if this forms a demand, then it gets retested. I may consider taking this short, so I'm gonna go ahead and put an alert. I should be doing this on SPY. And Mancini just tweeted right now. Let's see what this looks like on SPY. I'm gonna add the level here. I don't understand why he has to sell. I mean, my condolences that his father died, and his father was elderly and sick. But now that his father passed away, why does that compel him to have to sell the unit? I don't understand that. I really don't. Okay. For this one, I'm actually going to put the alert below, just in case we flush below again and retest this. Yeah, so okay, that's the plan for now. If this demand forms and is clean and sets up, and then we get a retest around that demand area, I may take that long, but for now I need to finish some work and just step away. Okay, that 15-minute demand never formed, and we got ourselves a little doji here, and now a inverse hammer, I think they're called. I'm sorry, I don't remember all of the names. We have a clean touch and bounce for now at my 4002 level. I know this is a cluster of supports here, and I probably should extend this support. Actually, no, it's supposed to be extended. This is not like TradingView. Yeah, the right extension is on, so I don't know. It looks like it's ending here, but it's going off. So, uh, what I do find odd is how cheap the let's go back to SPY. Sorry, options. 398. All right. It. I guess one could argue this is the demand zone being formed right here. Let me go ahead and just adjust this one. Um, and this spike down here, which happened here actually, because this candle is about to end soon, would have been a good time to enter. I don't know if we can call it a retest of the demand zone, just a false breakdown of the demand zone, I guess. But I don't know, man. I can't focus. I'm hungry. I'm sleepy. I'm stressed the hell out now, thinking I have to try and find some place to live. Um, and this guy's gonna put this place on the MLS. The only good thing is that if he's gonna come in and take some pictures, he may actually finally put the blinds up instead of me having to have foil paper on my window. I wish I can turn my camera view around so you can see, but I got the wires all plugged in and it would just mess up. Um, so that's a positive, I guess, temporarily. Uh, Also, I don't know, hold on. I'm curious. Hold on. Maybe I should watch this though. What I was going to do is I was going to go online and see when the last property was sold in this building and for how much, and if it's similar to this property. Basically doing the work of a realtor, even though my mother's a realtor and my friend is a realtor, but neither of them, just I can't, whatever. Um, so yeah, let's try that. Break off, go away. You know what? I don't have time for that right now. I gotta go make something to eat. I have to go to the grocery store and I don't have money for groceries. I have to figure out how to get groceries to last me till next week. Really, really cheap. There was a time when I was even more poor than I am now. I was living in that roach infested studio. I was eating once a day back then as well as I'm eating once a day now. And my go-to meal back then was and I didn't know about Aldi, so I would go to Publix and I would do their buy one get one free nonsense, which was rare. But my go-to meal was a can of tuna and some pasta. Back then, you can get a 4 pack of tuna, cans of tuna, for like $4, $4.50, something like that. So you're spending on average about a buck 50, $2 for a can of tuna, which gave about 20 grams of protein for the whole can. And I would every day this was my meal. I would add the tuna to pasta shells. And surprisingly, sometimes it actually didn't taste bad. Sometimes it actually was a pleasant meal. I would get kidney beans in a can and put some of that in there. I would get frozen vegetables, mixed vegetables, and basically boil up the pasta, uh, and then put that in a bowl with the tuna and the kidney beans and the vegetables and some seasoning, mix it up, and I would sometimes, as a treat, to kind of make it taste a little bit better, get shredded cheese, cheddar cheese, and put that in there. Put that in the microwave, heat it up, and that's a high protein, healthy meal. Unfortunately for me, and this was something I was eating for years, I didn't realize that canned tuna is one of the worst things you can eat because the cans of tuna and lots of canned goods actually has I forget what it's called. It's called PBAs or some forms of PBAs, and it turns out it's part of the lining of the can, and it's also in the coating or the metal of the can. And it turns out this is a very powerful endocrine disruptor, meaning it screws up with your hormones. And I also got food poisoning more than a few times, especially when I would get tuna that came from Korea. I guess because America didn't send food inspection people there in enough of a capacity to really make sure things were correct, being done correctly. And I got some really nasty food poisoning, but um, it turns out almost a lot of canned goods. Actually, you know what? From my research, everything gives us exposure to PBAs. You touch a receipt, you're getting exposed to PBAs. You drink water out of a plastic container, you're getting exposed to PBAs. And then I learned that there was this triangle in a lot of plastic goods, and if the triangle says number five or higher, it means it doesn't have PBAs or something like that. But then I also recently learned that there's a different chemical similar to PBAs, and I think it's called BP PBAs. Instead of BPAs, it's PPAs or something. I don't know, or FPAs, whatever. And it has the same problem, the same issues. It causes the same has the same endocrine disruptors, but um, since it's not well known, then companies, corporations are using this alternate chemical, and then they can say on their label, "Hey, we don't have PBAs," even though they have something else that's just as bad, but they don't talk about it. So I don't know. I find it hilarious. So yeah, and I have these bumps under my skin that were a result of wearing the bulletproof vest and the gun belt, and the taser of the gun belt would dig into my hip. And after what was it, 12, 13, 14 years of being a police officer and wearing that belt, although I didn't start wearing a taser until like 2004 or 2005, I think. But anyways, it's year after year of sitting in the patrol car with this gun digging in your skin, and the bulletproof vest would pinch my skin between the belt and the bottom of the vest. And after a while, a bump was formed, and I found out it's called lipoma. And that bump spread and created other bumps around my body. And then I found out also that PBAs can contribute to the creation of these lipomas. So, anyways, I forgot why I'm talking about this. I'm sorry. I'm hungry and I need to go shopping, and I don't have money to buy healthy food. Healthy food is expensive. It really is. Don't listen to these vegans that swear that you can eat on a budget healthy. If you want to buy quality organic foods, first of all, if they're quality organic foods, they're going to be perishable by a greater amount than non-organic foods. So you buy yourself some organic berries and whatnot. You better eat them quickly because they're gonna get mold and spoil quickly. But they're also much more expensive. So um, you want to buy food that doesn't come in a can, doesn't come in plastic bags, that isn't dehydrated, you're gonna have to spend more money. You want to buy quality meat, like quality fish, and not fish that's grown in a farm in some trashy area with the you know, it's just disgusting meat, bad meat. You got to spend more money. And yeah, basically I can't afford some of that fancy stuff. I can't afford salmon anymore. It's one of my favorite meals, having a grilled salmon with some mashed potatoes and some broccoli or something. Can't have that. It's too expensive. I buy ground beef, and I try and buy the organic ground beef, but a pound of ground beef now is like 6, 7 bucks. Milk. I always thought I was lactose intolerant. Turns out I'm not. It's just most milk products are crap. So I started drinking this one milk. Forget what they're even called at Whole Foods, and it's like $10 for a gallon of milk. $10 for a gallon of milk. But when I drink this milk, I have no stomach issues, none whatsoever. It's fascinating. Anyways, I'm going off another rant again. I'm sorry. I don't know. I I don't know if I should get in here. It just the volume seems very low, and it's probably worth just waiting because I have to focus on figuring out what to do about this housing situation now. All right, I finally caught up with everything I need to do, I think. And Yeah, so this 15 minute whatever this was, this is equivalent, I believe, to the 4008 support I had on ES before. Yeah, and it's now failed. We've gotten, it looks like, almost to the dollar at 4,000. So, and this is major support, but if this fails, this is going to drop hard. Um, Now, if I'm trading just based on Adam Mancini's system, I should go long right now. I should have gone long earlier, actually. We are now confluent to that um, channel that we broke out of on Friday. Well, really, technically, on Sunday, right? We didn't really break out of it until, yeah, until Sunday, at least on SPY. But we're now retesting it again, and we've had our bounce. Um, so the question is now, do I take this long? And if I had to guess, Adam Mancini would now probably say, I know I haven't read his most, I haven't talked about his most recent tweets. I should do that. It's odd. I'm cold. And the reason why I'm cold is because I need food. Last time I ate was yesterday around 6 o'clock. Okay, Adam's most recent tweet says, after a morning push off 4020 support, it came a few points off of 4038 target, number one, before getting a dip. After a 90-point rally since Friday, ES opting for a cool-off basing today. 4K remains next support, and bulls need to reclaim 4020 now to resume upside. Yeah, I figured that's what he was gonna say. Um, so we need to get back up above 4020, which is where we started here. This is about equivalent to 4020. Um, you know what I should start doing when I label my levels on SPY? I should title it the level of ES. That's what I should start doing. And then I can, although let's see if this forms a new 15-minute demand. And let's see if this gets tested. Although this candle just started. I don't know if you just heard what sounded like somebody hitting the wall next door or tapping on it. Yesterday afternoon, I kept hearing a couple yelling back and forth. I don't know if they were arguing or they're just talking loudly, but it kept going on and on and on in this apartment. And this is not the first time I've heard a couple arguing or yelling in this apartment. And I tapped on the door or tapped on the wall and I said, "Be quiet." And then, just to mock me, they then tapped on the wall back again and kept talking loudly. I had enough. Went outside, knocked on the door, and confronted them and asked them to please be quiet. Um, Hold on. Sorry. My realtor friend just texted me saying that my contract, if he sells, that nullifies my contract. Um, but yeah, they actually stopped making noise at that point. But I'm not talking loud, and I don't know. I apologize if sometimes in my YouTube videos it's hard to hear me because I'm just using the mic from the laptop. But I try not to talk loud because I, unlike 90% of the people in Miami, try and be respectful so I don't disturb my neighbors. You know, the people on this side I guess it's some girl that lives here now, and she's always got company. Every time she leaves, um, she every time she leaves, she slams the door, and every time she's walk up and down the hallway, whether she's on the phone or with one of her girlfriends, she's always talking loud, like like no one else lives in the apartments or there's no one else on the hallway. So, anyways, I'm sorry, I don't know why I brought that up. Let's see if this forms a demand and then gets retested. Um, but yeah, I guess chances are today is going to be a day where it's just going to be digesting and we're not going to get any real follow through. However, if this had gotten up a little bit higher, because it's funny, somebody mentioned that in Adam Mancini's tweet that they're going to try and take the 4038 major resistance. I know I have 4040. They're going to take that short. Um, you know what? Did this form any kind of supply? I didn't even think to notice that. It did. Pre-market. It did form a supply. How did I not even notice this? A lease supersedes a sale. That's not what I was told. I learned that if you in other words, a lease needs to be disclosed in the sale. Oh, so if someone else buys my contract goes to them as new landlord? Sorry, I'm not a realtor, he is, so he would know better than me. Okay, they're right in they're in the file. Why can't you just go in the file and look at it? Oh my God, dude. Wow, just sorry, I gotta take care of this. Okay, definitely did form a 15-minute demand, and we are, um, you know what? I'm gonna adjust this one down, and we're rallying. I was on the phone with the landlord. It turns out I was wrong. My lease does last until the end of the year. So if a new owner comes in, then yeah. So that's one stress off my head. Um, let's see if this thing retests. Where would it retest then? Let's see, maybe 35. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I just tried to sell it. So stupid, man. 35. Oh, this is ES. Let's go to SPY. Let's try and find that demand zone on SPY. Let's just bring this back down. Thought this would have served as maybe previous resistance, but no. So the question is, will this come back down? I don't think it will, to be honest with you. Um, I think I should probably take this long now and see where we go. I'll try 46, 47. See if it goes down and fills me. Or should I just follow my rules and just wait for a retest like I normally do? I should do that. That's what I should do. So I'm gonna set an alert because I still haven't had a chance to go grab something to eat because I have to do more editing for the stuff I did this morning. And then I have to submit it, and then I have to contact. This is one of those days where it's just back to back all morning from 8:30 till like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and no break. But I need to eat. So, anyways, we're gonna put our alert here. See if it retests somewhere here, and then try to get back in. But I think that's not gonna happen. I think the fact that we had this clean bounce right here, and this is where I should have taken it long, probably back here or here. Where are we in this candle? Yeah, only halfway through. Not even. Um, yeah, I got a lot of work to do. But let's see if this pulls back. Let's see if we get a retest of the demand. But it kind of has been tested already, I guess, if that makes sense. That's why I don't think there will be a pullback. Yeah, part of me saying get in, get in at 40 or something. Where would 40 be if I tried to get in there? Mm, yeah. Let's see if we get a spike down, a quick pullback, a quick return, a quick recovery, I should say. But I gotta finish doing this stuff because it should have been submitted this morning. Okay, so we've had a little bit of a pullback here, and then it was bought up, and we have another pullback here. Let's see how far down this one can go. My concern though is we've now formed we're forming a new supply, but we just started this. Let's see if I can get in at 40. Although I might be just getting greedy there at 40. All right, 41. This is times where I'm trying so hard to get into the trade, and then when I'm in, I get pissed because it goes down even lower. Fine, 42. Oh yes, I can't. I have to do one. You know what? So done with this back and forth. Fine, I'm in. We're at 44. Now watch it drop down to 40. I keep telling myself I just need to be picky and just let it come back to where I want it to come back to, and if it doesn't, then too bad. There it is. It never fails. It never fails. If I want to get in here and prices here, it'll keep hovering around, hovering around, hovering around. It won't get to it. It won't do it. It won't get down to it. Then the moment I decide, all right, fine, I'll get in here, then it goes down. And yes, if this thing does go back up and recovers 4020, then I'm complaining about a matter of $2 or $3. But for me, for my small account, it is quite a lot of money. Anyways, let's put the stop loss now below here. Now you know what? The stop loss is going to be this trigger here. That's what's going to be the stop loss. So I'll be back to let you know how much money I lost. Remember, I was waiting for this to pull back down to a certain spot, say about $35 before I would try and take it long. That was my rule. Let it come back down to about 10 cents above the demand zone. I didn't want to wait. It didn't look like I was going to do it, and I jumped in early. Look, it came down as low as $30. Demand zone is 95, right? 10 cents, that's, well, it wouldn't have made it 10 cents. It came just shy of it. But, for quite likely it's going to fall even lower. My alert went off. This is where I would have sold my stop loss, but I was busy trying to fix something that I realized I don't have to fix anyways. Um, if this doesn't come up, I'm putting my stop loss here. We'll make it a $15 loss, 29. It's going to come down, fill my stop loss. You know what? Forget it. Forget the stop loss. Forget it. I'm not even going to use one. If it goes to zero, it goes to zero. I just don't care. I'm so sick of it because it's the same pattern as always. Always the same pattern. And I see the opportunity to make a trade. If I don't take it, I'm screwed. It rallies, leaves me behind, can't deal with FOMO, the train is gone, whatever. If it's pulling back down and I want it to come to a certain spot, it won't come to that spot. It won't. But then when I purchase where it is then it will come down to the spot where I want it to go to begin with. If I'm in a trade, it will go against me. I will always be negative in a trade. 95% of every trade I take will immediately go against me. It's just the way it goes. So the only thing I can hope for now is we form a new demand confluent to not confluent, similar to where the previous demand that I had was formed, and maybe we can do a little inverse head and shoulders and then work our way back up. That's the only thing I can hope for. My worry though is that this is a supply that had been formed and that we may end up getting a rejection from this spot, assuming we even get there to begin with. Although I could probably help the market out by selling my position and taking a small loss. That way they can continue to go up. We'll see what happens. Okay, for one brief small moment in this candle, I was positive by a whopping $3, and we went back down. So you know what? By the end of this candle, 50-minute candle, if we don't start heading back up, because this means we've been hovering around this area right here since 10:45, right? We've been lingering around this little spot for almost 2 hours. If we don't push up higher, um, I'm just gonna exit for a loss. In fact, I'm almost hoping this will just push a little bit to 40, so I can just exit at 40 and just take a small loss for the day. But I don't remember, but I think Adam Mancini said that if we are at a zone and we're hovering, not a zone, or we're at a support and we're hovering above that support and bulls are unable to lift off of that support, then that means that support's probably going to fail and we're going to fall even lower. So and this candle closes in 5 minutes. I was hoping that the bulls can push this up higher, but it looks like this isn't going to happen. Yeah, you know what? It'll be a $10 loss. We'll just add this to the string of losses with all the other losses. Of course, remember now, I have just sold my position. Now, watch, the market will start to come up. Don't worry, it will. I'll be back. I mean, now that I've said it and I've brought it out to the universe, it will manifest the opposite. Watch it start to fall now. Yes, I said both. It'll go up or it'll go down. Which is going to be? I'm willing to bet now that I'm no longer in the trade, this is gonna come back up. At the very least, this is gonna pop back up to here or somewhere near here. Maybe then it will come back down, but at the very least it will come back up, meaning I could have gotten my money back at the very least instead of taking a loss today. I'll be back. Watch and see what happens. So, remember, I sold, I think it was here, or was it here? Let's see. For my loss, 1256. Um, so so yeah, it was in this candle that I sold. Of course, what does it do? The very next candle pops up to 45. It did push back down, and we started a new candle, but this one got as high as 50. Point is, I could have gotten my money back, maybe even sold for a whopping $2-3 profit. Much better than a loss of almost $10. And I really should have just put my stop loss down here, I guess. Even though that would have been close to a $20 loss if it came down here. No, more than that, because look, this is the lowest this come since we created this demand zone. And actually, here it is. This is where I finally would have been filled if I kept my buy limit right here at 10 cents just above. That's the MK strategy. So 0.95, I would have my buy-in at 0.5. So then I would have gotten filled here. So I would have gotten in. So here's the irony. If I just stuck with my rule and waited for a pullback, if I kept being greedy, if I not greedy, if I kept if I made myself very picky, meaning I wouldn't even go into this trade unless it comes back and picks me up, I could have gotten in at 26 and sold maybe at 50 and made 25 bucks. Because, we're at VWAP. I didn't follow my own rules. And instead of making profit, I took a loss again. When will I learn? I have to be picky. I have to be picky, and I have to wait for multiple confluences. And that's what happened here. It gave me what I wanted this morning. I wanted it to come back down and test this level. It did. I wanted it to come back down again and test for the demand zone. It did. I could have gotten in here, put my stop loss down here, and let it run. Created the demand zone. I wanted to retest. It did. Retested right here. This might run the rest of the day for all I know. Or at the very least, it'll make its way back up to 4020. And if this does go up to 4020 today, and this is a 398, actually, no, it needs to go up soon. Actually, it needs to go up soon because time's running out. 398 is here, 4020 is about here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start labeling my zones on my SPY, not my daily, because obviously the daily is off of the SPY chart, but these zones that I made confluent to ES, I'm going to start labeling them with the actual ES equivalent zone. All right, I'm out. And here we go. We had our dip here. This was 115. This was way back here, and it was worth around $27, something like that. We had another spike down here. This occurred at 2 o'clock. Here we go, 2 o'clock, where this dropped down to as low as $20. This spike down formed another demand zone, which was then tested almost to the point, to the very exact spot at the start of this candle, which is 14.15. So 14.15, here we go. So $20 here, $30 here, 20 here, 30 here. Either way, if you wanted to get in here at a retest of this because you just wanted to try it, you didn't get in here. The thing is funny though is if you got in here, you would be down like almost $10. If you kept, as long as you kept your stop loss down here though, I guess you would be okay. But if you had gotten in here, actually more realistically, if I followed my rules, it would have been here, assuming I didn't do anything before. So I would have gotten in here around 35 or something like that, and probably could have sold at 60. I don't know how much higher this is going to go, to be honest, but I mean, we did get our bounce, as I hope we would, here. But this was a very, very choppy, grindy way up. Meaning, if I had done this instead, and this is why, again, options are so annoying, but if I had gone in with an at the money option, so we bounced at 395, so we get a 395 option. At that bounce point here, at 11:45, if we had gotten in 11:45, uh, here. In fact, I don't understand. I don't understand why. Whatever. This is the start of the candle. Maybe it actually came down here. So whatever. But let's say you got in when I got in. So somewhere here at 12:30. So you got in at 12:30. You screwed up like I did. When did I buy mine? 12:34. 12:34. So you got in here. God damn it, dude. Whatever. Whatever. Here, you got in at 200. As long as you don't mind being 50 something dollars under, you keep waiting patiently, and you might make a. If you sold sometime recently, like $90 or something like that. So, yeah, man, I am so exhausted. All right. Actually, this is kind of fascinating. I mean, I'm still pissed off to no end that I have yet another day of loss under the books. Just consistent. It's just 95% loss rate. Um, but we did reach 40. You know what? Hold on. Here we go. We're gonna do this right now. We're gonna adjust this up here. Yep. And if we go to ES, you can see that rejection is right at 4025. Right at no, that's not true. It's a little bit above that. But and here we go. I'm going to go ahead and label this right now. And we're getting a pretty strong rejection, but it didn't get very far before the bear stepped in. And did we make it to view up? And yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just so sleepy. No, we didn't quite make it there. So yeah, it looks like we stopped just short of this daily I have here. But back to what I said before, if I had waited and stuck to my plan about getting back in at the retest, actual retest or close to a retest of the demand zone, I would have gotten in at 115, so somewhere here, like $30. And if I held all the way till the end and not sold, not even used the stop loss, maybe I could have sold at 60 and made $30. Not much, I know, it's not significant, but hell, if I had made $30 today, I would be pretty content. This might be my last video. I'm crashing, man. All right. So look at this. If we look at this from a bearish point of view, when we got to 4025, which was the next target, we formed a supply. So that's two confluences where we've reached a major level for Adamanzini. Second confluence, supply. We needed to clear this to continue going up. We obviously didn't do that. My strategy would call for a short at a retest of about 10 cents below the supply. In this case, it's 0.04, so we would do 94, and obviously we didn't come close to that. We did, however, make another supply before pressing down a little bit further. Not exactly a huge drop, but if you have a fat account and you're willing to risk a big scalp, this would have worked out for you. Okay, last video for today, and this is going to be another long video where I just lost money anyways. So, we had a rejection of 4025 on ES. I remember Adamanzini mentioning that sometimes he doesn't like to go short at the first rejection. He likes to see a pullback to soak up some stop losses or to get liquidity. I forget the term he uses, which looks like this is what happened here. And this is why my strategy, I like to wait for a pullback myself for going long in these demand zones. my strategy as if it's such a wonderfully working strategy. Um, but this would have worked. This pushed back down. It looked like it was picking back up on my last video, but just before the end, this last 50-minute candle, it pushed right back down. And I forgot to mention that if you were to take this short, where would your target be? I mean, if you were scalping and you really wanted to be safe, I guess you can choose this daily or this VWAP, but you wouldn't make much profit and you probably leave a lot on the table. You could also target this previous supply that was made here, and that would have worked here. You would have sold right there. But if you wanted to really push it and really risk it and be a bit greedy, you would target the previous demand, which is where we got to here. So this is one of those days where my modified version of NK strategy would have played well if I actually stuck with my plan, and I would have had to use a stop loss that is close to or at the money. Because my account is so small, unfortunately, I chose to use the 397 strike here. Or was it the 398? I think it was the 398 that I used. Yeah, which if you didn't sell by here, by this point, and if you had gotten in here, would have been the best one. But let's say you got in here at 13.15, which was back around here. Let's say you got in at 35 or something. So you bought 10 options at 35 and you held it, and you really didn't bother using a stop loss, because if you did, it would have probably been hit. Or no, let me just say this: if you put your stop loss down here, then it wouldn't have hit. But you can see how theta decay kills it here, and you could have sold at like 65 and made 100% on your profit. But again, if you chose a strike that was closer to the money, in this case it would be 395, that's where we bounced, then like I said before, you would have made decent funds. Would it be 100%? If you had gotten in a similar spot here, let's say you got in at 190, you bought 10 options for 1900, yeah, you can sell those 10 options and get $1,000. You wouldn't get 100% of your profits though, which is interesting. Now that I look at it, maybe I'm just not setting it up right. It was 115, right? 115. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's enough. I'm tired.